Be ready. Start. If the state were giving tapping contract simpliciter, there can be no doubt that the state would have to auction or invite tenders for securing the highest price, subject of course to any other relevant overriding considerations of public weal or interest. But in a case like this, where the state is allocating resources such as water, power, raw materials, etc., for the purpose of encouraging setting up of industries within the state, we do not think the state is bound to advertise and tell the people that it wants a particular industry to be set up within the state and invite those interested to come up with proposals for the purpose. The state may choose to do so if it thinks fit, and in a given situation, it may even turn out to be advantageous for the state to do so. But if any private party comes before the state and offers to set up an industry, the state would not be committing breach of any constitutional or legal obligation if it negotiates with such party and agrees to provide resources and other facilities for the purpose of setting up the industry. The state is not obliged to tell such party, please wait, I will first advertise we whether any other offers are forthcoming, and then after considering all offers decide whether I should let you set up the industry. The state must be free in such a case to negotiate with a private entrepreneur with a view to inducing him to set up an industry within the state, and if the state enters into a contract with such entrepreneur for providing resources and other facilities for setting up an industry, the contract cannot be assailed as invalid so long as the state has acted bona fide, reasonably, and in public interest. If the terms and conditions of the contract or the surrounding circumstances show that the state has acted mala fide or out of improper or corrupt motive, or in order to promote the private interests of someone at the cost of the state, the court will undoubtedly interfere and strike down state action as arbitrary, unreasonable, or contrary to public interest. But so long as the state action is bona fide and reasonable, the court will not interfere merely on the ground that no advertisement was given or publicity made or tenders invited. On a consideration of the relevant cases cited at the bar, the following propositions may be taken as well established. State owned or public owned property is not to be dealt with at the absolute discretion of the executive. Certain precepts and principles have to be observed. Public interest is the paramount consideration. One of the methods of securing the public interest when it is considered necessary to dispose of a property is to sell the property by public auction or by inviting tenders. Though that is the ordinary rule, it is not an invariable rule. There may be situations where there are compelling reasons necessitating departure from the rule, but then the reasons for the departure must be rational and should not be suggestive of discrimination. Appearance of public justice is as important as doing justice. Nothing should be done which gives an appearance of bias, jobbery, or nepotism. The public property owned by the state or by any instrumentality of the state should be generally sold by public auction or by inviting tenders. This court has been insisting upon that rule not only to get the highest price for the property but also to ensure fairness in the activities of the state and public authorities. They should undoubtedly act fairly. Their actions should be legitimate, their dealings should be above board, their transactions should be without aversion or affection, their dealings should be suggestive of discrimination. Nothing should be done by them which gives an impression of bias, favorism, or nepotism. Ordinarily, these factors would be absent if the matter is brought to public auction or sale by tenders. That is why the court repeatedly stated and reiterated that the state owned properties are required to be disposed of publicly. But that is not the only rule, but though that is the ordinary rule, it is not an invariable rule. There may be situations necessitating departure from the rule, but then such instances must be justified by compulsions and not by compromise. It must be justified by compelling reasons and not by just convenience. Here, the court added to the previous decisions and said that a bleak deviation from public disposal of resources would not be tolerable. Such a deviation must be justified by compelling reasons and not by just convenience. Thank you.